for?
Prabhuji, we were not all right because missing your classes. Now I think from today onward,
Exactly, I was about to say that.
now from today onwards, we will be getting some vitamin.
Actually, I was not keeping well. I think I was all right till I was in Vrindavan, Delhi. We both were fine. But I think when we landed in Chennai, it was almost after, for me, it was 2, 3 months, and for Sudarshana, it was almost a month, away from Chennai. Just we went for Vyas Puja. She came to Rajkot for Vyasa Puja. And then I think you might have heard about, oh my God, sister Grace Anasuya Mataji left her body. Just gave a brief, I think, in the group. So, uh, so, so what happened that after that we came back, and for some reason I think we drank the water, the RO thing, which was not clean or whatever. So for almost a week we both were continuously coughing and nothing was there. So we ended up um, uh, yeah, we ended up being on the home. So I could not do the class last week. So sorry about that. Krishna willing, yes, I am also happy to be in all of your association. Happy to see you all. Krishna willing, we will continue as much as we can uh, going forward. Some more things are left to be sorted out for my god brother Purnanda Prabhu. We may have to help them, but we will probably do that other times. At least our vichar time, we will try to keep it straight. Uh, so we were, yeah, I was also telling that she passed away in a very glorious way. Most of you may not know her, but at least um, like from the way she left her body, sometime if Krishna allows, that is we can discuss about it, and it will be a very great inspiration for all of us, about, especially when we have to leave this material world at some point in time. So really a great inspiration seeing so closely, and when someone was affected so badly by the disease that she was not able to do anything by herself, but still she forced herself to do devotional service. That was really mind-boggling for all of us who were there. Anybody who witnessed it, they were also kind of astounded by that level of determination. So, some point you'll do that. Traveling and yeah, so but before that, for today we will start off with Bhagavatam. Krishna willing, yeah, we were doing 1-6. I think 23 we did. 24 we have to do, I guess, if I'm not wrong. No, 23. Yes, 23 we have. 23 we will do, and then we will discuss on that further. Um, so this verse is 1-6-23. We will do. Very nice sloka. Now these slokas are spoken by the Lord to Narada Muni in his previous life as the son of maid servant. So what happens is Narada Muni, he tries that method of devotional service that was taught to him by the Bhaktivedanta savior, and he um, even gets the darshan of the Lord for a moment, but then the Lord gives a darshan for a moment and then he disappears. Then one day he could hear the voice of the Lord in which he's saying, that I'm sorry, you won't be able to see me anymore in this lifetime because of these three reasons. One is Avipakva, one is Kashayana, third is Kuyog. Avipakva, Kashayanam, and Kuyogi. These three, when people are, the three qualities or disqualifications are there, and they won't be able to see me um, continuously. I mean, especially they can't see me for a long time. Hmm. Why? Because Avipakva, we are immature in our devotional service. Hmm. Immature in our devotional service means it has a wide connotation. But one way we can understand this thing is like if I see Krishna only in favorable circumstances, and in unfavorable circumstances, if I don't see Krishna, then that is one level of maturity. Many times we are happy to thank Krishna when something good happens. But when negative situation comes, how do we deal with it? How do we approach that? Right? That means we see Krishna only in certain conditions. So Krishna is unconditional, devotional service is unconditional. So how can we be conditional in seeing the unconditional Krishna, right? Krishna can come in any form, in any place, anywhere. So that is why um, uh, Narad Muni, when everything was taken away, the Bhakti and the sages went away, mother also passed away, and he was left with nothing. At that time, he sees that as a benedictory action of the Lord, the benedictory hand of the Lord. If you see 1:6:10, Prabhupada says beautifully that confidential devotees. So the translation is very nice. When his mother passes away, this is what Narad Muni says. I took this as the special mercy of the Lord, always desires benediction for his devotees. And so thinking I started for the north. Prabhupada writes in the purport also very nicely. Confidential devotees of the Lord see in every step the benedictory direction of the Lord. In every step they see benedictory direction of the Lord. So this is a very interesting situation, and this defines one's pakwata. Pakwata means maturity, right? So when we are that way, when we are somehow or other, when we see our maturity grows, no? Especially in Krishna consciousness, when we are there, in the beginning days, we will think that oh Krishna consciousness means everything is fine, great, all this, that, etc. As we go along for some time, then we will start seeing the world and this Krishna consciousness in a different perspective. Let's say how this world uh, engages with us, how it perceives us, right? I may perceive myself as a great devotee, but how this world is perceiving me is a total different ball game altogether. Not everybody see us as devotees now. Uh, so and again, like you don't get any extra concession in this world by being a devotee. Right? Initially, you may think that oh, devotee means great. As Bhagavatam says many places, devotee is a very special person. Devotee means very dear to Lord, and so it will be many things you will see, you will hear. But if you go, I mean, when we see, we don't get any concession in the airlines by being calling ourselves a devotee. You cannot go to Indigo and say that I'm a devotee. Give me some concession in the air ticket. The train, if you are trying this IRCTC, there is no separate quota for devotees to confirm the tickets. You still have to go through the same wait list, RSP or whatever that is there, right? And if you live life also, many times we see nowhere else you will see any kind of special treatment or anything that is. In some devotees, some temples, some devotions, I think maybe somebody will smile at us and give us some nice thing, whatever prasadam or something will be there. But that also we cannot go with the expectation that, oh, I'm a devotee, I should get this thing here, get this thing there, etc. So this pakwata comes when we realize that we are not very special in this world. Even if you are just because you are devotees, the diseases don't avoid us. Like we saw in our recent experience with Mataji, Anasya Mataji also. She led such a pure life, and they never took anything outside prasadam. And in fact, they used to give. They are very famous for distributing prasadam in the US and other parts of the world, also running nice takeaway restaurants and distributing prasadam to college students and many other needy people, poor people, and all that. Um, but seeing that Mataji could not take prasadam for the last 2-3 months, and she was not able to even take this much of prasadam, for the whole day, and not even able to drink water. We were amazed how Krishna is treating. Like some devotees who are close devotees, they also said close means served closely the last few years. Young people, they were saying how much prasadam they distributed, but still she has to struggle so hard to even take little bit of water. Um, Nothing was going inside for the last 2 months of her stay in this world. So anything that even little bit she eats also she just vomits out, because the liver will completely stop function. And how do you understand that? It's just a lot of contemplation went in to understand how this whole situation. But in that difficult situation also, he was so intensely remembering Krishna and spiritual master. And even in that pain, the doctor told that for the level of pain that she has, even a strong bodybuilder, he will pass out. He will go into coma, or he would be screaming so loudly that the only way to keep him quiet is by giving sedatives. Like give them some sedative medicine and make them go unconscious. But she is preaching and doing class and this and that. That is a mind-boggling thing for anybody who came. Even the doctor was bewildered to see that I've never seen. I mean, uh, being a Mataji, and she has grown weak in her health also because of this very aggressive type of cancer. So at that point, the devotees are telling how they were giving all through their life they're distributing prasadam, but Krishna is not so. Krishna is so cruel that he is not allowing him to take prasadam. But that she did took up um, uh, without any dread, you know. And Narad Muni also here, he was not asking for any special concession just because he was a devotee. Normally, anything that will happen to people in this world, we may not expect that thing, and even in fact, sometimes even worse things will happen, and that we have to accept it as a part of our karma. And when we do that, that's when our devotion becomes mature. You know, our devotion becomes mature, and Krishna will appreciate that mature devotion service. That is Avipakwa. And Kashayam, that outwardly everything looks very clean and nice and all right. But when it comes to us, how do we handle the situation? You know, that is where the Kashayam just stir a bit and everything comes to the top. It is still in the bottom. It is not dissolved. It is still undissolved dirts are still there in our hearts. This is the second reason why we can't see Krishna continuously. She is darshan. Third thing is kuyogi. Kuyogi is one who is incomplete. Uh, uh, whose devotional service is incomplete or imperfect. Somebody please share the meeting ID and password in the group. I don't think there is need for meeting ID and password, but it's there. Let me share this. One second. So, Kuyogi is someone who is imperfect or incomplete in their service. Like, we basic things onwards we start, we don't chant our rounds properly, or we are not able to do our, fulfill our vow to the spiritual master or the Krishna. Or we are not uh, doing service, is leaving the service incomplete. Suppose washing the parts and halfway through we just say that, I have other important service to do. Please, I'm leaving. So once you take the service, we have to complete it. If or somehow or other ensure that it is complete, even if we are not doing it. So that is where these are all the three things that Krishna is telling, that due to which they are Dodar Shoham. I am difficult to be seen. Hmm? And
Prabhuji, last thing after
yeah,
Kashayam. Hare Krishna.
sorry.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
last one about after Kashayam is what? What did you say? Was not here.
Kuyogi. Kuyogi.
Kuyogi.
Kuyogi. 1621 has that these three words. Avipakwa Kashayanam Durdarshoham Kuyogina. Hmm. So this Kuyogi is a very, we do it always, in our chanting also, quality of the chanting gets affected many times. It has so many anarthas that very difficult uh, for us to call that as a chanting also. Mhm. So these are the three reasons why Narad Muni, sorry, Krishna is telling Narad Muni that you cannot see me. I'm sorry, I cannot. I'm sorry to say this, that you cannot see me. Difficult to see if you have these three things. And then the next verse, though, in 22, he says, Sakridya darshitam rupam jetat kamaya te nagha matkamaschana kai sadhu sarvan munchati prichayan. So he is telling, oh, virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me. Because the more you hanker for me, the more you'll be freed from all material desires. See how nicely Krishna is giving the problem also and the solution also. The problem is that I am not hankering enough for Krishna. The problem is that because I am not seeing the darshan of Krishna, I am not hankering for it. Unless we have the darshan or unless we hear about him more, how can we hanker for him? So what Krishna is doing is he gives a token thing to just give that little darshan, and then he takes himself away and he says that with that one darshan, you would have experienced the pleasure of seeing me. Seeing me is not just a physical seeing alone. Even the hearing is also seeing only, right? Um, even uh, uh, that one darshan that you have, it will increase your desire to see me again. It is like the intoxication, right? When we have this intoxication, once you take, you will want to take more and more, right? So Krishna is like that. He's in the same way. This is darshan is in the same way. Hmm. Uh, so he says, Matkama Shanakaihi Sadhu. Shanakaihi means slowly increasing. Matkamaha. When you start desiring for me, you start hankering for me, and that hankering is increasing, right? Then Sarvan Munchati Hruchayan. All these dirts, the Kashaya dirts which are there, Abhipakwa which is there, Yogina that is imperfect, incomplete in service, all these three deficiencies, they go away. So the solution for these problems is what? These three problems, Abhipakwa, Kashaya, and Kuyogina, is to have Matkama Shanakaihi Sadhu. By increasing our hankering to experience Krishna again and again and again. That eagerness will destroy these imperfections. How beautiful this is. Krishna is telling the problem also, and he is the solution also. He gives the solution also. Not able to hanker for me is the problem. And to hanker for me, I am giving you my darshan. And once you have that darshan, you will start experiencing. Once you have that, you will start hankering for more and more. Sarvan Munchati Hrichayan. All the other material desires. Hrichayan means material desires. Icha. So all these kind of material desires or mundane desires that are there in our heart, they will all get destroyed. And your desires will get purified. Yes, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, just sorry, Prabhuji, in between I disturbed you.
No,
You
please
said,
feel free to.
you have said that the problem is these three things which we are having problem, because of which we are not able to see Krishna. And the solution is that we have to develop the hankering for this desire to know Krishna more and more. So now the thing is that from this situation to come to this situation, in between what we have to do, that this hankering will increase. Suppose we are in this flow, we are having this flow that we are doing whatever we are doing, but we are not getting that that lolium that we want to serve Krishna or know Krishna much better way. And the solution, you said that Bhagavatam is saying that we have to increase the hankering. Now what thing is that which will give the boost that we will make hankering, we will hanker for it. We are not coming out of that path.
The very good question. I think 1 second before we move on to that, we see Ananda Sikhi Mataji is also raising her hand. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, my question is little bit different. Actually, hankering of you said na hankering for seeing the Lord. So what happened is we just recently went to Srirangam, but because of too much rush, and there was so much crowd and people were pushing each other and all. So one Mataji, she's so new to Krishna consciousness. She was chanting peacefully. She said even a one round of chant in a holy dham is equal to Ashmeg Yagya and everything. Later she told me this. And we were in line and pushing each other. Everywhere people were pushing each other. And though we had the darshan, but after that, that Mataji didn't had darshan definitely, because it was so much rush. After paying also, we could not have proper darshan. I mean, they were just pushing us out. So
You went for Vaikuntha Ekadashi?
no, Prabhuji, this second Purnima, this Bangalore HBR layout only, they had organized
The second Purnima, January 2nd?
January 2nd. So they
That
organized
was
the
still
yatra
during the
for
Vaikuntha
Adi Ranga.
Ekadashi time. Yeah, that is still
Ranga.
Vaikuntha Ekadashi time.
Yeah. So Adi Ranga, Madhya Ranga, and Ante Ranga, all three
you
were
did
covered
all
in
three, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, my question is whether that pushing and all that was important to have that darshan, which was just not even a proper darshan, I will say that, or that Mataji who was peacefully chanting and was so blissful. So I was thinking, am I doing wrong? I mean, there was a question mark. I'm not sure if I'm able to explain my question. But since then, since I'm back from the yatra also and everything, I was just pondering on this thing. What was I mean, what should have been done at that moment? Because we have gone so far to have darshan only, and then I sit back and chant. I mean, her mood was also very nice, but is I am wrong, or what should have been done? So I want your.
Neither of you are wrong. Both of you are correct in your own way. Krishna will accept both your bhav. That is the important point, right? So the thing is, I will tell you my experience also many years ago. This is almost 20 years ago, no, 21 years ago. What happened? I, Sudarshana, my mother, and my aunt, I mean my mother's younger sister, and one more friend of hers. We went to Tirupati. Okay. We went during the October time, during when this Brahmotsav is there. Like they will do it for 2 weeks or something. The huge crowd will be there. And we went up the hill by walk, and then we thought we'll go into the crowd and attend the uh, darshan. I mean, take darshan. So my aunt was not into so much into Krishna consciousness. She likes Balaji, so she said, she will always go for Balaji darshan. So she came with us. Myself, Sudarshana, and my mother, we have been chanting, and of course, we are following our process thing, right? But, so what happened when we went there in the top, they said it will take minimum 5 days to take darshan. The crowd length itself is so huge that they said minimum 5 days it will take. You have to stand in the queue. There is no special darshan, no paid darshan, nothing. Everything, it's all completely packed. Everywhere you are seeing only people. As soon as we heard that, I didn't have that much vacation. Secondly, we had the next plan of going to Vrindavan from there. We thought only 1 or 2 days to spend in Tirupati, then we'll go to Vrindavan and spend some little time there. It was like kind of towards the end of Kartik, I think, last few days of Kartik. So what happened when I heard this? I said it's not going to work. Let's just go down to our ISKCON temple, have Mangalarti darshan there, and go to Chennai from there because you have to catch the next train the day following day to Mathura. So we went down. I mean, actually, that evening night itself, we took a bus and we came down, and we stayed in our ISKCON Tirupati temple, and we attended the Mangalarti. We had nice darshan Arti in the morning, and then we took the local train. I mean to say the Chennai to Tirupati is only 3.5 hours. No? So we went from Tirupati to Chennai by train, and we are landing in Chennai station, and my aunt calls me from Tirupati and says that, why did you rush going back? We stayed all night, and now only we just got nice darshan. It was not 5 days waiting. One day only we waited and we took darshan. So then actually I felt a little bit upset. Oh, why did we rush thing like that? But then I was satisfied that we at least had nice Mangalarti darshan of ISKCON temple, in the ISKCON temple, Radha Govinda Dev there. And anyway, we'll go to Vrindavan also, and we'll take nice darshan there and so on. There was only time I went to Tirupati and came back without darshan. So I was feeling a little guilty for that first time when first thing I had done. So when I came to Vrindavan, we went to all darshan and everything, but somehow that little bit of it was pricking me. How can I miss the darshan, having gone all the way and not taking darshan? And then we went for Govardhan Parikrama, I think, and I went to that ISKCON temple near the Dangati. ISKCON that the just on the Govardhan Parikrama road itself, you will see that thing. So Vaisheshika Prabhu was there. So we were going there, and we went there, and we had little morning prasadam before starting the parikrama, and we had a little discussion with him. At that time, I was telling that Prabhu, it happened like this. So I'm not sure if he did an offense or something that by not taking darshan and coming. He said, no, you are reading Bhagavatam here now. You are taking nice darshan of Giriraj. You're taking nice darshan of Radha, Shyam Sundar, Krishna Balram, and everybody. So there is no need to feel bad about it. It's just he took a decision, practical decision at that time, based on what they said. And if suppose you had to wait for 5 days, you would not be able to do it with your mother also being there. She's not, that young to bear the long this thing, standing in the queue all night and all that. So there is no big, there is no difference, not big. There is no difference between taking the darshan of the Lord through His scriptures and through His darshan. It is just we need to adjust ourselves to that idea, right? And if you are able to chant peacefully, you are able to study Bhagavatam peacefully, and have that darshan through the shabda the form of the Lord, darshan of the shabda form of the Lord, and especially being in the dham, it is very very rare, and it is very powerful. Very it's a real powerful impact it will have in your devotional service. On the other hand, you have the hankering to take darshan of the Lord, physical darshan of the Lord, the form of the Lord. But in that process, you end up shouting, screaming at people, fighting with people in the queue, and having a very disturbed consciousness, and go and have his darshan and come back. Oh, finally, I put a tick mark, kind of thing. That is of no use, because you are neither enjoying the darshan of the Lord. If you are going to enjoy the darshan of the Lord, standing in the queue for a long time, you should enjoy the process of standing in the queue also. You should enjoy the experience, whether it is favorable, it's a positive or negative. It is definitely, it's a very torturous thing to stay on in the queue for so many hours. During that time, if you are feeling very agitated, you are disturbed, you are this, you are that, fighting with people, screaming, shouting, all these things, then that darshan is not a darshan at all. Like Akrura was actually, even while going to see Krishna, he was remembering Krishna. He was wondering how nice it will be to see Krishna. So he was completely forgot all the tiring journey all the way from there to Vrindavan, isn't it? So that is how our the process of our darshan should be, right? I remember some of you may know Ram Vilas Prabhu, right? The Chitra Mataji, you know Ram Vilas Prabhu, right? Hemangi Mataji and Ram Vilas Prabhu in NVCC,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yeah, Hemangi
Yeah.
Gopi and Ram.
Hemangi Gopi Mataji's husband, Ram Vilas Prabhu, right? You know Anand Sughi Mataji very well. So they had come 3-4 years ago, I think 4-5 years ago, this one Ativaradar temple darshan was there, no? In Kanchipuram, remember? After 42 years or so, they brought the DT out, and everybody was huge rush for the next 1.5-2 months. It was like continuous this thing, right? Uh, so yeah, so many devotees from the north and everywhere, all over India, they all had come. Okay, and there was this VIP darshan and all was very difficult to get. It's not so easy to get, and there's a lot of corruption happening and all that stuff. So Ramana Subha and Mataji came. They came alone. I think they just the two of them only, and they stood for almost 24 hours or something in the queue to take darshan of the Lord. And after the darshan, they came to Chennai to our home here. Before catching the flight, they just came for a brief few hours. So at that time, I was asking Prabhu that, Prabhu, how long did you stand in the queue? Because usually people say, oh, we stood for 6 hours, 7 hours, and we got the darshan like that. But he stood for almost 24 hours. Because I think he came around the festival day and was heavy rush or something. So he said, I was standing for 24 hours. Very casually, he said, 24 hours you were standing, Prabhu, but because there is no facility like in Tirupati, you cannot sleep and all. You have to just stand there and you have to sit there, whatever. So I asked him, I was really shocked. I said, Prabhu, how did you stand there for a full day? He said, actually, Prabhu, it was very nice. It was a very pleasant experience. That's the time I was contemplating on Krishna a lot in the queue when all others were jostling and this thing and all that. I was joyfully I was enjoying. I was joyfully enjoying the thing of thinking about what to do for Krishna. How do I plan for this service? How do I plan for that service? Like that, he was telling me, and it really clicked a very nice thing for very nice point on about this for me. That it's our consciousness that matters. In that whole process, if my intent was to somehow or other get darshan of the Lord and leave from there as soon. Huh? Sorry about that. So it's the consciousness that matters actually. You know, when I think Lalita Priti Mataji will know, she's there in the call also from Manchester. They came for the last day of the darshan, Ativarda darshan. They had come, I think, few years ago. Isn't it, Mataji? Um,
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
When you were talking,
You
I was
remember?
remembering the darshan.
Yeah. Yeah, so Prabhuji, Mataji, and more importantly, the daughter is very young, was very young that time. So we were worried how they will manage the queue, the queue, standing the queue, and all that. So it was the last day, so we had to rush from the airport directly to the to Kanchipuram. So we had a bit of a challenge, but somehow we completed the darshan and came back. But because of the darshan, we couldn't that hassle of that whole thing. So we couldn't take darshan of the other temples immediately. So we came home. We came to our home. They stayed with us. I really wish Mataji you will come soon. We miss your association here. So the weekend it was, and once that weekend was over, we were asking them, do you want to visit any other temples here? But both Prabhu and Mataji said, no, we want to go back to Kanchipuram again because by the time the last day was over and they were removing all the, the whatever that the partition and the diversion, everything they had, because there are some 16, 17 Divya temples itself in Kanchipuram itself. Ativarada is a deity who is inside the pond and he comes out. Again, he goes back after that. But the main Varadaraja deity is there. Then we have the other temples, many other temples are there. So they wanted to take darshan of those deities. And I said, oh, just now we went and came. It's okay, it's nice to go and take darshan again more peacefully. So we went and we had nice darshan of all the deities and felt very happy. Isn't it, Mataji, that the second darshan was even more.
It was very nice. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all the
So,
devotees.
yeah, all the devotees and that Prabhuji also came, he explained very nicely. Radhapati Prabhu came, he explained about Kanchipuram so very nicely. All the deities. So that is actually the real mood. How much you are enjoying that process itself, even if it is a difficult thing to do. So which form of the Lord you see is not the main criteria. There are times when you will not take darshan of the Lord. Like for example, Srirangam, even on normal days when you go during like say Navaratri time, you will not get the complete darshan of the Lord. What they will do is they will bathe the Lord with the oil. So 48 days you will be fully drenched with oil every day. It's called Taila Divas. So what they do is suppose Lord's thing is this much and his lotus feet is here and his head is here. They will cover this part of it by cloth. You will not see the lotus feet darshan. You can't take the lotus feet darshan of lotus feet. So devotees who come during that time will not be, they will not get the chance of taking the lotus feet darshan. Or in sometimes what happens, they will close the main, the Moolavar deity, the Pratishtha Murti. They will give only the, it's called Namperumal, means the Utsava Murti. We can take darshan of that deity only, who is the one who is, outside, the one who is standing, the Utsava Murti deity. So even in Vaikuntha Ekadashi day, you can probably take the darshan of Utsava Murti called Namperumal. You can take darshan in like say couple of hours. But Moolavar you will take minimum 5 to 6 hours sometimes. So Moolavar means the one who is lying down, no? The main deity. And that also sometimes you may not get the full darshan also. and they will keep pushing you aside. You cannot take full darshan like that. But as Anand Sikhi Mataji said, if you can take darshan of the Lord in whatever, oh my God, this thing is so good. Huh? Let me see. Am I audible now? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, taking darshan of the Lord in whatever form that is, whichever way, in whichever form that Krishna is ready to give us darshan, and we are happy with that also. That is actually good enough. I mean, it should not create that uh, shortage in us, something short in us. So if you are happy and the same with the same intensity we are able to take darshan of the Lord, whether it is the physical form of the Lord or the Sabda form of the Lord or even the prasadam, honor, like Jagannath Puri you go, prasadam is non-different from Jagannath, right? So in any of these forms, we can see the Lord peacefully. That is good enough. That's most important, right? And another important thing is that when we went to Srirangam, we had a nice little darshan, nice darshan we had, but we were not satisfied with that alone. After that, we sat inside one of the mandaps, no? One mandap, small mandap is there. Four of us only, 4, 5 of us. We sat down and we read Bhagavatam. We sat down and we were reading Bhagavatam like how we are reading here. And that gave us the complete satisfaction. Complete satisfaction. In other words, if you go to the temples and only take darshan and then come back, that may not that may not increase our hankering for devotional service or give us a pleasing experience. We have to glorify Krishna there, either through some prayers, sing some slokas, sing some prayers, or read some Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or anything that will be pleasing to the Lord. Or do some seva. They call in Tamil as kainkaryam. Kainkaryam means service with your hands. So you go and serve some prasadam or bring water for somebody or do some kind of seva, physical seva, and that is what will be very pleasing to the Lord. So the whole idea of this darshan is not what is pleasing to me, is actually what is pleasing to the Lord. That is more important. What will please the Lord? So anything that pleases the Lord, when I do that, then a portion of that will be given to me as my pleasure, as a spiritual pleasure experience that I get. That's the whole idea of this darshan, And that's why even the commentaries that is written by the acharyas, for the various shastras, they are also called darshan. We say no, Digdarshanitika, like that. So in one place in Bhagavatam, the word darshan is translated by Prabhupada as commentaries or philosophical conclusion or something like that. So Bhagavatam, through Bhagavatam we can take darshan of the Lord. Bhagavatam is actually non-different from Krishna. When we read the letters, these words, these aksharas, they are actually giving us darshan of the Lord. So it is the what do you call potency of the different forms of the Lord which we can experience. We have to train our mind to accept all these are forms of the Lord. Haridas Thakur, for example, he never had darshan of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra deities. Because he considered himself a low class person, born in a low class thing. Even though he was the most qualified, still he felt that I am not qualified to see Jagannath. So he stayed always in the background. But what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do? Every day he will go to Jagannath Puri and bring some Mahaprasad of the Lord and give it to and offer it to him. Right? And one such Mahaprasad is that Siddha Bakula tree. isn't it? So it's what pleases the Lord that is more important than what is pleasing to me. I should not endeavor to do that which is pleasing to me. I should endeavor to do that which is pleasing to Krishna. And as his mercy, as his causeless mercy, he will give some drop of that pleasure to us. And we will be satisfied with it. Right? So that is what we should see Anand Seki Mataji, if I'm able to give some insight into it based on my tiny little experience. So we should, like I would give the example of Ram Vilas Prabhu also. He was enjoying the journey of cities, standing in the queue. How many of us would do that? Huh? So, of course, when you have kids and other things, it's a much bit more difficult. But even then, with our body also, our own body also has the challenges, right? So we, as long as we um, are able to appreciate Krishna's mercy in whatever form or in whatever way he gives us, that itself is a big boon for us. It's a right perception that we can have. Does that help, Anasaki Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. So,
Right?
Prabhuji, just last one thing, that we should really hanker to go to places, spiritual places like this, or we should just sit back, because when many times we hear that we see Lord through
See, I will tell you two
see Lord
examples.
through. No,
I will tell you
Prabhuji,
two examples.
examples. No, Prabhuji, you
No.
tell me yes or
Hear
no.
me out. Hear me out. No, that's why through example only I can tell you, na. So there are two alvars in the 12 alvars, right? In we have Sadhu Goswamis like that. There are 12 alvars, right? And the foremost of that, how we have Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami like that. The foremost of the alvars is Nammalvar. Okay, and he is one person, and there is one other Alvar who is a king before, and he turned into Alvar. It's called Tirumangai Alvar. He is the one who tried to build the a wall for the Srirangam temple and ended up going and becoming a thief because all his uh, treasure got exhausted and he had to still build it. So he went around and stole money from others and he built the temple and Krishna gave him darshan. So these two characters are very interesting because the Namalvar is someone who is so full with the devotion, but he was whole life he was sitting in one place only, almost always, almost all his life, not all. Maybe I'm, if you go to the southern part of Tamil Nadu, there is 9 temples, 9 Devadesam within a 15 kilometers radius. You should not miss that darshan. It's called Nava Tirupati. Somehow you should go. It's in the bank of the river Tamraparni. You have all these 9 temples, very old, huge temples, but they will all be like not. They will not be so crowded like Srirangam and all. It is like very nice remote place. You can see the Lord as much as you want. So in that one of the temples, there is a 5,500 years old one tamarind tree is there. And he was born, and when he was born, he was sitting under the tree only. Even now the tree is there, by the way. And they have nice place for that tamarind tree. Under the tamarind tree, this Namal Dora is sitting. And throughout his life, is sitting there only mostly. Okay. So all these lordships, 108 Divya Desam, we call it, no, all the different lords, say Ranganath, then Varadaraj, then Balaji, all of them will come in his vision, in his spiritual vision. They will come in front of him and say, please sing Pasuram glorifying. Pasuram means that 4,000 Pasurams are there, no, which all the alvars combined, composed. So they will ask them to compose songs on them. So the thing is, he would not go to the temples. He will be sitting in one place. But because of his devotion and his purity, they all will come and ask him, please sing the song, Pasparams on us. On the other hand, the Tirumangai Alvar is one who will physically go to every temple and do the singing. Mangala Sasana means glorifying the Lord and the place, right? So he will go almost almost all the temples. You will see that Tirumangai Alvar has written glorified his pasurams. So now one Alvar goes everywhere and takes darshan. Another Alvar sits in one place and all of them come to give him darshan. Both of them are equally dear to the Lord. And that Tirumangai who went to all the darshan, no, he was a king who turned into a thief and then turned into a pure devotee. So as a thief, he did not get the darshan when he was a king, but he got the darshan of the Lord when he became a thief. So he was ready to do anything for the pleasure of the Lord. You see that? So he was stealing the various. They say that when the marriage party comes, no, they will go through the forest. He will be there hiding, and he will threaten them and collect all the jewels and everything from them. And that was how he was trying to finish the rest of the temple thing, right? So when such things was happening, actually his wife is a very great devotee. She stays in the palace. She does not know what he is doing there. So at one point, one of the couple comes, married couple comes, and they are actually the Lord and his consort Lakshmi Devi only. Lord Ranganath and Lakshmi Devi only, they only come as a married couple, newly married couple. So he threatens them and asks, he doesn't know that this is the Lord. So he threatens and gets all the jewels and everything. And he removes everything. And finally, what happens? He sees the Lord's feet. And in the marriage time, I don't know how they do in the north, but in the south, they put some ring in the one of the toe, the toe fingers. They put that jewel there in that. So the Lord is wearing that. So Tirumangai, he asks, you have to remove that and give me that. Give me. You have to remove that also. And the Lord fakes as he is trying to remove. He's not removing it. Then he says, I am not able to remove. If you want, you remove. So he is trying to remove his hand. He's holding Lord's feet and removing his hand. And it's not coming. Then he chews with his teeth. Somehow he tries to break it and take it out. Then also it is not coming. He's actually chewing Lord's lotus without knowing that it is Lord's lotus. So he was doing all these things and he was not able to get it. Then finally the Lord shows his darshan along with Mother Lakshmi. And he was really amazed. And that's when he turns, he completely turns into, a saint, right? Then he comes home and he explains this story, this incident to his wife, who is a great devotee. He laments, I have been glorifying you all my life, but you have not given me this darshan. But you have given this darshan to my husband who managed to become a thief and to sing, to do this service to you. So the Lord I think Lord says that yes, his desire, that eagerness for the service is much more. So he got that blessing. But it is because of you, because of your loving devotion, that he got inspired for this thing. So the essential point here is both of them became dear to the Lord in their own way. So my point is that, concluding point is that if I am skipping the darshan of the Lord to stay in a comfort zone, we don't want to be in doing a comfort zone devotional service. That may not be appreciated by Krishna. Who will go and get jostled in the crowd? I don't want to do this. Rather, I will avoid it. That will be that kind of. I will just stay back and do my service, sitting and chanting. That may not yield the desired result because I am taking an easy way out. Right? If you can't equate this to the example of that Mataji who was doing chanting there, because he did not, my presumption is that she did not want to escape this thing, but she wanted to sit and simply peacefully chant. So there is nothing wrong there. That's more like how Namal was doing the devotion. I'm not equating, but I'm just saying it's kind of. And the way you wanted to see the darshan, you had the eagerness to see the Lord. So in that process of standing in the queue also, if you are chanting the holy names and not being bothered about the jostling and all that stuff, then your desire also will be satisfied. I mean, will please Krishna. So it all depends at the end of the day. How much are we willing to sacrifice the things which are dear to us, the things which are we consider as what will happen if I am hungry and if the darshan takes a long time and I'm not able to take my dinner. For me the dinner comes first and then the Lord. That will not yield the desired result. We are willing to give up that dinner also. We are willing to give up the sleep also. That just the day before taking Lalita Priti Mataji and their family and Karnataka and family for the last day of the darshan, just one day before that, somebody told that in the night the darshan queue is not so long, you can go. So some 3-4 devotees who had not gone for darshan, I had taken them by car to Kanchipuram, and by the time we reached there, the crowd increased. Okay. This was, I think, we took for 2-3 times. We went for darshan. I think second time when I went for darshan, it went like so all night, especially Matajis, 2 or 3 other Matajis also, with all the difficulty, they were standing in the queue. They did not even have time to sleep. They were standing in the queue. And we finished that darshan and come in the morning, and very next of the day, 1 or 2 days, one day later only, they were Prabhu and Mataji, Governor and Mataji came, and we took them also. I could have said, we could have said, oh, we just took darshan. But they were the first time they were coming, and it was last day. We didn't know till what time the darshan will be there. So we wanted to help them. So that is when we do this as service to devotees, when we do this service to Krishna, and for Krishna's pleasure, for devotees' pleasure, if we do that, then it will definitely be accepted by Krishna. As he will be pleased with it. So end result is whether Krishna is pleased with our endeavor or not. That is more important. I know it's a long winding answer to your question, Mataji, but it ultimately, it's like, suppose if you are taking prasadam, you only know whether your hunger is satisfied or not. I cannot tell you, Mataji, you have had enough. I think by now your hunger will be satisfied. I cannot tell that. So proof of the pudding is in eating, or we say that, no, that mm, when you have prasadam, automatically you will know that how you are satisfied. So that is how it will eventually come out. So everybody's service Krishna takes up, Krishna accepts it, provided it is done with the right mood and with the right intent. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. I really tried my level best to remind myself again and again that I've come for the darshan and I have to be peaceful. That was happening. That I was reminding myself, and some devotees were chanting Govinda names. There are Govinda names.
Yeah, they will chant Govinda, Govinda, and then they will start.
Venkataramana, Govinda, Govinda. So there are many names of Govinda.
Basically, that's the way to move the crowd. When you shout that way, then the crowd moves. That's one way of thinking. If you go to Radharaman temple in Vrindavan, they will loudly shout. Hey Radharaman Lal ki jai. Then the little bit push will be there. Very interesting.
Yeah. So I tried.
And I will tell you one other incident that happened. I think about 50, 60, about 70 of us went to Ahobilam. Devotees from around the world came because they came for Maharaj Vyasa Puja, Maharaj Vyasa Puja, and from there we went to Ahobilam for 1 week, couple of days we went. Okay. So because the devotees are coming from different places, they were like kind of little excited about the Ugrastamba. I think most of you would have gone to Ahobilam, right? So the young people were putting all shoes and this and that to go up the Ugrastamba and all that. You know that I think four Narasimhas are in the lower level. I mean on the ground level, and other 5 temples you have to go up the hill, like Jwala Narasimha, Malala Narasimha, Pavana Narasimha, then Varaha Narasimha. There is one more Bhargav Narasimha also. You have to go into the bushes and all that. Others you can see. So in this, one of the easiest Narsinga is Kṛṣṇa Narasimha, who is a form of Narasimha with Lord Ram and I think Lord Ram, yes. One of the forms of Narasimha with Lord Ram's thing also in it because he will have bow and arrow and all that. So he is just on the road. You know, when you go to the lower Ahobilam, the upper Ahobilam, there on the road only he will be there. Just across, you can just stop the vehicle and just go have darshan. Very easy darshan. It's the easiest darshan. So in the 2 days, what happened? The devotees went on going to all these other places. Oh, Pavana Narasimha is very difficult. Jwala Narasimha is very difficult. Let's go there first and this and that. Second day, what happened? So the only deity that was left first is Kṛṣṇa Narasimha, who is the easiest to see. Okay. So almost by 11:30, other darshans were over in the morning. So we had to leave by say about 4 o'clock from Ahobilam to other places. So the devotees were telling, after they saw 8 Narasimhas, they said that, okay, let's all go back to the rooms first, that the children will be tired. We will first pack our things and all and take prasadam. And then when we go on the way, we will just take darshan of the last Narasimhadev and go. So I told them, please don't do this. It will end up in a mess. Don't do this. Even though it is easy to see Narasimhadev, let's just take the darshan. So they said, no, Prabhu. You know, Mataji said that they have to pack things and children also are there. Everybody has to pack and all those things. They said. I said, fine. So what they did, they finished 8 Narasimhadevs. They had prasadam. They were talking, chit-chatting and all that. And they were packing things. And like, I think about 3 o'clock, everybody left in the 2 buses. We went by 2 buses or something, not 2 buses. So we are going this, what you call 3:15. We are going, and this Kṛṣṇa Narasimha temple is here, right here. Just 2 minutes we are going to reach, and the pujari is locking the temple and taking his vehicle and crossing us and going away. We are going like this, and he is going opposite like this. The devotees didn't realize it was the pujari first. They just went thinking that, okay, the temple will be open. We go, the bus is parked, and we enter, and we see that the temple is closed. And devotees had come from far away, like from US, Singapore, Australia, everywhere. And then one devotee was telling, Prabhu, when your bus was coming, one person was going. I think that is the pujari who was going, locking the temple and going. Literally disappointed, you know. The devotees are literally disappointed. Though we encourage them that don't worry, if you leave something unfinished only, then you will come once more for darshan. It's okay, you take the darshan of the deity outside. From outside, it is fine like that. So later, you know, this is something which I felt myself. I didn't tell the devotees that even that slightest comfort zone thing that we take or some level of you know, taking for granted. It is anyway here only. I can go anytime and see the darshan. Jwala Narasimha is up in the mountain. Some over there we have to go. Narasimhadev, I mean, the Lord is, you know, he can decide to give darshan whenever he wants. He will stop whenever he wants. Not by according to our wish that we can demand the Lord. See? And so that's where we should always understand what level of devotion we are in. It's Kuyogi, Durdarsha, this Avipakwa. When these things are there, we cannot take for granted. Very nice lesson that Narasimhadev taught us on that day. Luckily, I had been a few times to Ahobilam, so I didn't have any such thing. But some devotees felt that, oh, how come one day one darshan was missed out? We don't know we'll come again or not, like that. See? So here we cannot say that, oh no, what will happen if somebody was feeling very hungry and all that. It's just hardly 2-3 kilometers. Devotees can go by bus, take darshan and could have come back easily. But that small decision that which we took, giving priority to ourselves and reducing the priority of taking darshan of the Lord, Right? Again, this taking darshan of the Lord is for not our pleasure, it is for his pleasure. We are going in standing there because Krishna will be pleased to see us. Krishna will give us some inspiration. Not that, oh, I am happy. I will go and tell people, oh, I saw the darshan. That's not how it works. So it's all finally boils down to that little nitty things of where we are in terms of our in our heart, what we really feel for, right? Okay. These are all nice, interesting things which we face. You know, everyone will have some different stories. Be nice to hear at some point. So this is thing which I wanted to share for Anasaki Mataji's thing. And Chanchalpati Prabhu's point is, if I understand it correctly, Prabhu, you wanted to know basically that yes, we are having these anarthas, but then and due to which our darshan is not continuous, and to the point where we continuously take darshan. What is that thing that connects the jumping? What is that leap? We say that leap. No, what is that leap? That leap of faith that we need to have for this, right? And that is told
Yes,
by
Prabhuji.
and that is told by Krishna in these few verses itself, and shown by Narad Muni in those two verses, so 25 and 26. So the answer for your question is there in these 4-5 verses itself. How to get to that point of non-stop continuous darshan of the Lord with always with that eagerness, right? Right now our darshan is not with so much eagerness. It is like I also go take darshan. I say, oh, Jai Radha Shyam Sundar Lita Shaka, Ya Radha Il Madhav. You just stay one moment or half a moment you are there, and then we say, okay, I think we should move on now. Other things are there. So that doesn't help in the beginnings. But then Krishna takes note of these tiny little improvements that we are doing to our devotional service. Like suppose I am going first time and that's Jai Shri Radha Shyam Ki Jai Krishna Balram Ki Jai, and just do like this and come back. That is noted as one small percentage of our devotion. The next day, somebody might be talking when we are going, oh, how beautiful Radha Shyam Darshan was, how beautiful Krishna Balram was, how beautiful Radha Madhav, like that. I'll be wondering, what is that beauty about? I also saw some red color dress, blue color dress, whatever. Like that, I'll be thinking. And then maybe something must be there which I missed out. So that is that little eagerness. That Shanakai he sadhu. So that little, tomorrow we'll see. And then what will happen the next day when I go, I will spend a little more time to say, what is that thing that he is wearing in his hip? What is it that he is putting in his hand? Like that, we will have a little bit more eagerness. And like this, slowly, the eagerness develops because of the sadhu sangha, because of the bhajana kriya. The more our faith increases, sadhu sangha increases, bhajana kriya increases, anartha gets reduced. This anartha of, okay, fine, I saw you, Krishna, fine, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, I'm going. That thing to the extent where you start pressing the deity, you start enjoying the darshan of the deity much more, right? Or our initial attraction to the shastras will be very, very limited. What is this? So many slokas and all these Sanskrit words, I cannot understand any bit of it. So whatever this Prabhupada is saying, the same thing again and again, uses the same sense gratification, same devotional service, same causeless mercy, same words he's using again and again. Like that, initially we'll be thinking. But the more our association is there with those kind of devotees who have the taste for that particular, to have darshan of the particular form of the Lord. When I say particular form of the Lord, it's not just the Vigraha form alone, it's the Shabda form, it's the service. Service is a form of the Lord. when we see the service, like I said, like devotees who are standing in the queue, felt that standing is also a service, waiting for the Lord. Kalam pratikshan. So the more we will be able to see the Lord in these different forms. And for that, association with those like-minded people is very important. And then following up with those activities when we do with those like-minded devotees, that is important. And then slowly it will develop. It will start. It will start from the point where we are just momentary only we have to continuous system. And again, another example I will tell you because it just reminded me immediately just now as I was telling you. I am talking, like, when we are discussing, we take more than 1 hour to just read one sloka or one line of the verse and all that. But I did not have this qualification from the beginning. When the first days I went to Minneapolis in 99, 2000, around that time, 99, the time when I first went. And then 98, I was in US, but 99 was when I went to Minneapolis and continued to stay there for the next 6 years, five and a half years. So when I met the sannyasis like so as Ganapati Maharaj, so as Mahavishnu Maharaj and all, for me, it was not so much of understanding Prabhupada's books so meticulously. My attraction was not so immediate. I liked the shlokas, I liked the stories, but not to the extent of reading every word and trying to read in between the lines. That thing was totally not my zone. So what would happen is, Ganapati Maharaj would come for the programs. He would have home programs on the evenings or weekday evenings and Saturday, Sunday also. Evenings and mornings and evenings like that. So usually in the programs, he will do 1 to 1.5 hours kirtans. Nice, beautiful kirtans. Very melodious, very beautiful kirtans. So we will enjoy the kirtans like anything. So I would always record his kirtans and I will enjoy the kirtans. I will be literally alert during kirtan time. This I am telling way back in the very beginning days of my time associating with these great personalities. So after that 1.5 hour kirtan is over, my mind will switch off. Maharaj will give kirtans for 1.5 hours. Then next 1.5 hours, he will be doing discussions. Actually, Maharaj will do sometimes even 4-5 hours discussion also. But in the evenings, because of the time limit, he will do only for maximum 1.5 hours, max sometimes 2 hours. So if you start around 6 o'clock, it will go till 9 o'clock, 9:30 like that. So what I would do, I will just get switched off. I will completely, my mind will be off from there. Devotees will be talking, some devotees will be asking questions, Maharaj will be answering. So there'll be a lot of discussion that will be going on. But for me, I was like, I will look here, look there, take something from the shelf somewhere and then look at it and read something or play with some object or something there. Or some children will be there. I will just play with them, like I will not be in the front seat, so I'll be in the back seat so that it will not, so much of a disturbance to Maharaj. But then one time, one point, what happened? The discussion was going on very seriously, but I could not understand head and tail of it. So I was playing with one small boy, 2 years old boy, and that boy was, when you play with the children, they will also make some noise, and so that actually it was slight noise only, but it actually disturbed this. I was talking about my senior god sister Anasya Mataji, so she was disturbed. He I didn't realize it. I was just playing with this boy, and she just turned a bit annoyed, and she looked at me, and she was showing her annoyance basically that I am disturbing their dialogue, their conversations. I was wondering, man, what is this? I'm not understanding yet ABCD of what they are talking, and I'm just playing with this boy, and they are annoyed with me. Actually, I should be annoyed with them. Making me wait for prasadam, and I'm not understanding anything. This was the condition in the beginning, But slowly, when I started appreciating the discussions in a little bit more, I be associating with them, and then associating with Maharaj also, and doing some little service to him. I would, carry his harmonium, or I would like carry his books. He would keep book table in the universities during the day. So I will set up the table and all for him, and I will do some little service to him. So through this way, it started thinking, hey, they are discussing something very important. From there, the transformation happened so quickly that within the next few months or within the next year, I would become part of those discussions and I will start engaging and I would share some quotes because the discussion will not be like, one question asked and one answer given. It will be like different devotees will tell different things and Maharaj will consolidate everybody's thing and he will ask questions to them. And so it's like a beautiful interactive discussion. Just 10, 12 of us will be there and it will be wonderful, wonderful, beautiful discussion about it. So what happened, within such a short time, I started becoming a fan of Maharaj's lectures instead of just Kirtans alone. So I would be waiting for the lectures. Instead of waiting for the lecture to end, I would be waiting for the lecture to start. And I am personal experience of this and I am really feeling transcendently proud of being given this blessing because for me, that is the trigger point. Same way, my spiritual master also did the same thing. And whoever I was connecting with, they were also giving Solnas Radhanath Maharaj or Solnas Chandramali Maharaj. They were all, Rompal Maharaj, they were all giving in their own ways, they were sharing their love for Prabhupada's Shastras so much. So this is how Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, these three things that continuously doing these things will reduce the anarthas bit by bit. And then these three things keep increasing. You see, they keep increasing. When the anartha goes down, these keep increasing. Like say in a water flow, there are something that is stuck. There's some object is there that is not allowing the free flow of the water. So what you do, that paper or some object that is blocking the flow, to take it out, then automatically the flow goes on, isn't it? So this is how this anartha nivritti. This is anartha nivritti. So we have to take it out, and to take it out, you might need the help of someone. Sometimes this taking out will come in the form of chastisements. This anartha nivritti will come in the form of chastisements. Sadhu Sangha does not mean they will give very nice, sweet, pleasing thing only. Sometimes they will fire us. I've got a lot of chastisements from my spiritual master and Ganapati Maharaj and those who I closely served. They used to chastise, and I took that in the right spirit, and I started contemplating on what is the thing that in me that is that they are chastising me for. And when I tried to rectify, the same senior Vaishnavas, they actually they appreciated the endeavor to remove the anarthas. They helped in the clearing of the anarthas also. That is the job of the sadhu sangha, isn't it? It doesn't automatically, the anarthas don't get cleared. So many times we need that whip on our whip, that for us, that oil coated whip. That Maharaj will say, I have not normal whip, I will whip you with oil coated. So that is how oil soaked whip. So it is important to go through this process step by step. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. And then realizing that Krishna is so merciful that he is giving himself to us through this form of the Shabda Rupa, he is presenting himself in the Shabda Rupa. It's very, very important understanding. And that is what we will be doing in the next couple of sessions, Krishna willing. So we will read this shloka. Shansapati Prabhu, I don't think I would have completely answered your question for now, but I think for some part of it is answered. But when we read this verses 25 and 26, Prabhu, definitely it will give you a holistic picture. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
So what we will do, we will read this verse 23 now. Who is reading this verse number 23?
May I try, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Sat sevaya dirghayapi jata mai dhridamatihi Hitvadyam imam lokam gantamajjanatam asi. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, translation.
Translations and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms: Sat Sevaya, by the service of the Absolute Truth. Adirghaya, for some days. Api, even. Jata, having attained. Mai, unto me. Dhrida, firm. Matihi, intelligence. Hitva, having given up. Avadyam, deplorable. Imam, this. Lokam, material worlds. Ganta, going to. Mat Janatam, my associates. Asi, become. Translation: by service of the Absolute Truth, even for a few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds.
Now this Satsevaya word, Prabhupada writes in the purport very nicely. Can you read the purport, Mataji?
Yeah. Purport: serving the Absolute Truth means rendering service unto the Absolute Personality of Godhead under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, who is a transparent medium between the
Via
Lord
medium.
and the
Transparent via medium.
okay, it's for me, it's okay. Who is a transparent via medium between the Lord and the neophyte devotee.
Now this point is very important. Satsevaya actually means serving the Supreme Lord under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. So, in other words, while we are serving the Supreme Lord on the basis of the instructions of the spiritual master, we are serving the spiritual master also, or a pure devotee. We are serving that pure devotee also. You get me? So that Satsevaya includes both serving the Krishna and serving the spiritual master. Does it help? First understanding. And Adirgaya pi. Dirgaya means for a long time. Adirgaya means very, very short time. Even for a few days. That's what Narada Muni did in his thing. He was serving only for some time this sages. Right? They're just serving for a few days only. And with that little bit of intelligence, with this service only, even though he didn't have any of the Shastric knowledge or background, whatever, he attained firm and fixed intelligence. He now not serve this we discussed in the past. Narada did not only serve the sages when they were in the ashram, he was physically serving them. But as a result of physically serving them, he developed so much attachment to them that after they left, he continued to serve them by following their instructions. You see, it's a very, very important point. And because he followed their instructions, even in their absence, Krishna decided to give him his darshan. And not only his darshan, he also spoke to him. For Krishna, his darshan and his speech are not different. That's what will be said in the verse number 25. Right? So, serving the order of the spiritual master is not different from serving Krishna. If the spiritual master says, give me a glass of water, you give a glass of water, you have served Krishna a glass of water. That's it. Or if the spiritual master says, you drop this devotee to that so and so place, and you go and drop the devotee, then you have served the devotee and also. So let's read further.
The neophyte devotee has no ability to approach the absolute personality of Godhead by the strength of his present imperfect material senses. And therefore, under the direction of the spiritual master, he is trained in transcendental service of the Lord. And by such training, even for some days, the neophyte devotee gets intelligence in such transcendental service, which leads him ultimately to get free from perpetual inhabitation in the material worlds and to be promoted to the transcendental world, to become one of the liberated associates of the Lord in the kingdom of God. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So this is the secret that Prabhupada is revealing, or Krishna is revealing, and Prabhupada is expanding it further. Jata Mayi Dridamatihi, very, very strong determination be there. That one trigger of someone who is really enjoying something and they are feeling that I am a disturbance to that survey, to that ecstasy, the flow of ecstasy bit in that. What is that? Machitta Magdata Prana Bodhenta Parasparam Katayanta Chaman Nityam Tushanti Cha Ramanti Cha. That's what they were doing. Maharaj and the devotees there. And I, because I was not having the taste, I could not understand that ecstasy. And this thing became a disturbance to their ecstasy. So when I realized that, oh, I am the only man left out, and I am, they are seeing me to be disturbance, then I thought, oh, I should also taste that a bit. So then I started slowly listening, little bit here, there, little bit. Initially, 1%, 2% was kind of revealed to me, and then little bit more. And then when I was going home in the car, I would put on the tape which I recorded, and I was just trying to understand a little bit more. So that little bit of that extra endeavor that I'm putting in will be appreciated by Krishna and reciprocated. And that is where he makes us bound to him. That's how he makes us bound to him through this process. So you will not mind. Somebody will come and say something, oh, ISKCON, this is happening, that is happening, Prabhupada, this is happening, that happening, etc., etc. They will come and say, but it will not disturb your flow of devotional service in the form of scriptural study, in the form of your doing Mangalarti, chanting, and all those things. It will not get disturbed because you have experienced it, you have realized it. Doesn't matter what others think about so and so. You see that? So that personal anubhava, swa anubhava is very important. And that is possible through serving those who have that swa anubhava. Yeah. So we will stop here. So I think we have the next program also for us a bit kind of back-to-back programs today. So what we will do in our next session, Krishna willing, we will do verse 24 and 25 if Krishna allows. Is that okay? Any questions, comments before we close for the day?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one thing I want to ask, if you're having time, then just please explain.
Yeah.
Mataji just asked the question about darshan. So my general question is, when we go on yatra, generally from temple side, when a group goes on yatra, practically in yatra, what happens? We are in a rush to come फटाफट इस मंदिर का दर्शन करो, उस मंदिर का दर्शन किया, फिर चलो अगले मंदिर का दर्शन करना, फट बंद हो जाएगा.
And
Like this
and
type.
not only that, Prabhu, after that the organizers will have to do sorting out the account balance and everything. So all those things also have to be done. Yeah.
तो जो यात्रा के पहले जो जोश होता है वो यात्रा तो इसी में निकल जाता है और यात्रा करके हम वापस आ जाते हैं. मतलब जैसे बोलते हैं धाम गए तो कुछ चेंज होना चाहिए, तो वो तो कुछ होता नहीं. जनरली मैं इन जनरल बोल रहा हूँ, ऐसा हो जाता है.
So I mean, just imagine the long Rameshwaram yatra you took, or the Kartik yatra which the devotees all went to, and no, for 5-6 days they were, so much was going on. Every year that happens, right? So organization is always something which is difficult to it's difficult to do, but some take that responsibility of the hardship of doing that. Some devotees are merciful enough to do that so that others can have a peaceful darshan, peaceful experience, whatever. When that kind of a service is done, Prabhu, actually Krishna is pleased with that service. Guru and Krishna are pleased with that service or the sacrifice that those devotees are doing. Okay. So what happens is, even though they may not have the opportunity to hear the katha or take darshan in a peaceful way, etc., Krishna's blessings, Krishna's mercy is there upon them. So what happens is maybe some other time they can go peacefully and have a nice darshan of the Lord, or have a more relaxed experience of the yatra and all those things. A smaller group maybe. So that is something which the devotees Krishna will arrange. When I go on these kind of yatras, no Prabhu, when I had to organize, so what I do is I do a little bit of extra sacrifice, a little bit of extra austerity, not sacrifice, austerity. By suppose I have to go to Jagannath Puri and we are going to Siddha Bakula or Gambira and all, right? So I take them for their darshan. So at that time, I may not be able to sit there and peacefully chant or have nice darshan and all that, right? So you go along with them and go around and do whatever seva and come back. But there will be a time when devotees are resting, or those kind of time will be there. At that time, I will slowly sneak through and go and have my own little darshan, little chanting in those places peacefully and come back. Or before Mangalarti time, I just go there, go there and peacefully have little darshan of the Lord, or just have some chanting. If not darshan, at least chant in the Jagannath Puri temple, or any other place where you feel like you can chant nice. So end of the day, some trick or something has to be done to have your own peaceful time, even though you may be the organizers or whatever, right? So that is where some kind of planning is required. Instead, if I say, oh no, my all this organizing thing and all this taking so much of my time, I don't have any other thing. We should also learn to delegate. Keep some more in the team so that, Prabhu, I just need a little bit of 1 hour, my own time with Krishna. So just to have some little darshan, can you please take some of this service for a brief period? That kind of a delegation also gives us detachment from that service. Little bit of detachment is also required from these kind of administrative or managerial things. If we always get into that, then devotees will be happy to give that service to us always. You see, because that is a real hassle service it is. You have to worry about so many things and all that. We need to have some team. Like I see Gaurang Prabhu and all, when they are doing the organization, I can see complete shant. For someone who is managing 12,000, 15,000 people's prasadam at 3 o'clock in the morning, uh, some kind of disturbance should be there in the face, but you will never see any kind of disturbance. So calm and composed, and he starts keeping seva at 3 o'clock. And we asked, Prabhu, when do you have the time to do chanting? He says, 1 to 3, I will do the chanting. When will you sleep? 2 hours, 7 to 1, I will sleep. That's good enough. So these kind of austerities actually help us go closer to Krishna, bring Krishna closer to us. Because on the one hand, you are not compromising on your sadhana. On the other hand, you also want to sacrifice for the well-being of or the comfort of so many other devotees who are first timers, or those who are old people or children or whatever. Be sensitive about everyone else. So that is what Prabhupada wanted. In the name of doing that, don't miss out on your sadhana. In the name of doing your sadhana, don't miss out on the service to others. That is why both are important. In this chapter, in these verses which we are reading, both the sadhana is also emphasized, service is also emphasized. Okay, so that is some little amount of some tweaking, some tricks should be done to enjoy the yatra little bit from our side also. The enjoyments really experience the mercy of Krishna in that way also, at least. Or in the worst case, if nothing happens, at least you have served those who we are very eager for darshan. So one fine day we will be given that same mercy also. we can be happy with. Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you for that nice question, Prabhu. And I know you are such a wonderful organizer that you are so you sacrifice everything for others actually. And even while making the arrangements, you ensure that everybody is comfortably placed and things. So yeah, we'll stop here. Krishna willing, we'll continue next Saturday. I think we should be able to do. In Chennai, there is Kirtan Mela, but I am fine doing it in the morning maybe. Maybe we can do it in the morning for one day, next Saturday. Is that okay? We'll do it in the morning, say as the usual 10:30 to 12 time maybe. If or even 4:30 to 6 also, I should be able to do it. Krishna willing, we'll see. So days come by, we'll see whichever timing slot. Because 15th is Makara Sankranti holiday here. I think in other place also, which is Thursday. Thursday is a holiday for us. So if you can have a session on that day, maybe Rupa Smaranam if we can do on a Thursday evening, maybe that's something which you can think of. Let's see. As the days move on, I will keep you informed about it. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here and we'll continue. Looking forward to seeing you all soon in the next session. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai Gautam ki Jai Hari Hari Bhavan Bhadra Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patita Nam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namaha.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare